What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Perseverance, Part 1. Last episode, we ended up, we had a huge fight with our wife. Our child didn't want to come with us hunting. We ended up running into our potential wife's lover, not really sure who the guy is. We resisted buying beer, even though it was very, very tempting, considering all the things that just went down. But now we're about to be on our way to the cabin. So let's jump into this here. And I really hope you guys are enjoying this. This, so far, like a slow lead up, but I think we're in for something pretty big here. I had everything I needed. I intended to go straight to the cabin, leaving all the worries behind for a while. I was looking forward to getting away from the issues at home and focusing on something else. As I was putting my supplies into my car, I noticed something strange. A young woman was strolling down the roadside. At first, she caught my attention simply because she was coming from outside the town. The longer I watched her, the stranger it seemed. She looked to be around her 30s, but she was dressed more like a teenager. I was pretty sure she wasn't from around the town, either. I couldn't figure out what she was doing out there all by herself. Her clothes didn't suggest that she had come for a hike. They were far too thin for the time of year, and she wore heavy makeup. It was smudged here and there, as if she had just run away from a bad party. I thought that maybe her date went south and some guy threw her out of his car without a warning. She looked confused, but strangely enough, she seemed happy at the same time. I decided I might as well talk to her. I mean, wouldn't you be curious too? Maybe. I'll be polite. Hello, miss. Hello, angry mister. I'm not angry. My name is Jack. I'm Jane. Oh, what a fit. Is everything alright? You look a bit lost. Well, I guess I am. Where am I? We're in Grey Ville. Oh, wow. Never heard of it. Is it pretty? Wow. Aren't you a little, worried? How did you get here? I don't know, really. Should I be worried? I have no idea. How come you don't know how you got here? I'd rather not say. It's embarrassing. You can tell me. I might be able to help you. To be honest, I have this condition. Sometimes I forget things. Like, literally. It's what happens if you live the way I do. Which is... I don't make much waitressing, so sometimes I volunteer to take part in a test. Do you know what a test is? Not really. You know, when a pharmaceutical company wants to introduce a new drug to the market, or a bunch of shrinks that want to take a look into your subconscious. You sign some papers, swallow some pills, get examined, and get paid. Simple. Unless you die in the process. Or you get invited to a random location where they put you with some other people in an unusual situation. They observe your behavior in a group and file some papers. I'm basically a part-time lab rat. It still doesn't explain how you got here. I walked for the past couple of miles. Some random guy picked me up and dropped me here. And prior to that, I guess I was taking part in a test. I think it got something to do with food. What was it about? I told you. I don't remember. Besides, you're asking way too many questions, Jack. Is there someone we could call and ask to pick you up? That's another question. I guess we could call Jeff, but I doubt he would pick me up. Who's Jeff? My cat. Okay, it seems that you're doing fine. I'm hungry. I'll be going now. Wait. There is one thing you can help me with. Yes? I'm a little cold. We're hard up for money, and I'd rather give my jacket. There's a jacket in my car. Wait here. Okay, well, I was thinking of the vest, but I guess. Here, you can have it. Thanks a lot. I'll borrow it for now, but I'd like to send it back when I get home. I didn't think you were such a kind person, Jack. You remind me of someone. Of whom? I can't remember his name. He was a guy working at the science facility. They were testing some new medicine, and I volunteered. I remember he looked kind of glum. like he was disappointed. He would stare at me through a glass window. I thought it was cute, as if he was too shy to speak. Anyways, would you give me your address so I can send you your jacket back? Sure, I'll write it down for you. Here. Oh, dude, seriously? You're just gonna jump and give her your... No, look at those eyes, man. Something not right with her. I'll send it back with some gifts. It's Jack. Listen, talk to Bob at the station down there. Ask him to fetch Hal Gifford for you, okay? He's the sheriff around here. He'll help you. Hal Gifford. Got it. Gosh, I'm so hungry. I need to eat something. He'll figure something out. Sure. See you around, Joe. As I watched her walk away, I was pretty sure I'd never see the jacket again. And again, I wouldn't be myself if I just left her like that. Here we go. It was already getting late, and I still had a long way to reach my cabin, as if I wasn't a big fan of driving after dark. Well, as I wasn't a big fan of driving after dark, I decided not to waste any more time. With my favorite band on the speakers, I turned on the engine and hit the road. The route I had to take wasn't popular since most of the traffic moved up the highway. On the one hand, it was good for the town with less cars moving through. On the other, little traffic was bad for business such as Bob's, but it was bad for business in general. If it hadn't been for the military base employees, the town would have dried out. A few miles out of town, I saw a woman. Oh no. She was leaning back against her car, smoking. She appeared relaxed, enjoying the moment. Seeing her in the middle of nowhere, chilling, gave me a funny feeling. She seemed to be okay with being by herself. I thought I could use a company like that. Back then, I assumed she was just another solitary soul passing through, never to be seen again. I began to understand what Bob had talked about, seeing new people and all. For a second, I thought about stopping, enjoying a smoke with her. It's not like it would be cheating or anything, would it? Never mind. Before I had a chance to make up my mind, I passed her and kept on driving. I had no idea what was coming for me. It took me forever to reach my father's land. I was tired and I didn't know why. For a second, I thought about the woman from the gas station. What was her name again? Jane. Weird one, that one. Never actually met somebody who got involved in various tests and experiments for a living. The forest had always given me a sense of peace. My father had bought a large piece of land back when he was in his 20s. I wasn't sure what had been his idea for it, but since he was gone, the land belonged to me. If I had known any better, I would have started a plantation of some sort, or chopped down part of the trees and sold them to the highest bidder. But I knew that there was something else about this place, and about that cabin. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was drawn to it like a bee to a flower. 20 minutes later, I finally reached the cabin. Hidden deep in the woods, it was nearly out of reach. It was a place where I could cut off the constant noise that was exactly what I needed. Or that was exactly what I needed. The sun was down already. I stopped in front of the door to enjoy the silence. That Jane must have been a junkie or a hooker. Probably both. I might have made a mistake by giving her my jacket and address. There's no way she could have just appeared in Grey Ville out of nowhere. She probably had her pimp looking for her. The sheriff would take care of it, for sure. That's very judgmental of you, sir. I just wanted to enjoy the forest tranquility, but I couldn't. A dog was barking, somewhere in the distance. I thought it was just a stray mutt. After a few seconds, the barking stopped. I let out a heavy sigh and opened the door. Instantly felt familiar smell of wood and old blankets. I know that smell. Okay, is she peeing in the sink like a dude would? Not that all dudes pee in the sink, but uh-oh. I'm thinking zombie. Friday, 1917. Inside the cabin. First thing I did was find some matches and build a fire. That reminds me of a riddle. It was a long time since I had stayed at the cabin. The air inside had gone stale. The furniture was covered in thick dust. Judging by the smell, a fungus had crept in somewhere. It felt like home. I didn't have the energy to take care of it. As soon as I got inside, all my weariness caught up with me. I tossed my bag onto the bed and sat down beside it. The worn-out wood creaked under my weight. I thought I'd finally have a chance to relax. I was wrong. As soon as I sat down, my phone started to ring. The usually cheerful ringtone was now almost painful to listen to. I remember the times when you needed to walk around the house to get a signal. Now these bloody things can catch up with you even in the middle of nowhere. I reached down from my phone and checked the screen. There was a single name on it. Natalie. Right, I was supposed to call her. Was it already time for an aftermatch? I can't say. I can't say I was ready. But I couldn't simply ignore her either. Hello, Nat. Hi, Jack. How was the road? It was fine. I just got settled. Listen, about earlier, I think all has been said, Jack. Can you please, just for a second, stop pretending like you know it all? Okay. You're right. I'm not over what happened to us. But all I wanted was for Hope to be happy. I wanted to spend more time with her. That's why I suggested we go for a hunt together. Did it ever cross your mind to actually ask her about what she likes? Nah, the kid is 11. She doesn't know what she's into. I can give her a hammer and a bag of nails and she'll be into carpentry. She's just a kid. It's up to us to show her the options. I think you're underestimating her. She ain't a small kid anymore. You said it yourself. Well, I think you're overestimating her. Guess we're in a pickle here, aren't we? Guess we are. I can't stay mad at you, Jack, even if you hurt me to the core. I'll make it up to you, Nat. Anyways, the hospital just called. Apparently they got some hard junkie case over there. I need to take a nighter and put Hope to sleep early. Is she going to be okay? Yeah, don't worry. I asked Hal to check on her later. He said it's fine. When Hope's out, she's out for good. Speaking of the little devil, she wants to talk to you. Hold on. Hi, Dad. Hi, sweetie. Mom said there was something on your mind? Yes, I was thinking very hard about the hunting, and I came up with a great idea. Listen, I'm all ears. What if instead of shooting animals, we catch them? We could later bring them home and tame them in the backyard. I would take good care of them and Hope, sweetie. I'm gonna be real with her. I'm sorry, but that's impossible. Why? Well, we can't just catch animals. They would be miserable living with us. They need to be free. But we have such a nice house and a lot of space in the backyard, and I would take good care of them. I know you would. Still, it's impossible to tame an animal that was born in the wilderness. It'll always long for freedom. That's where it belongs. Guess you're right, Dad. I know how much you love animals, but it just wouldn't work, Hope. Then maybe we could at least get a dog? I always wanted one. A dog can protect me and Mom if something scary happens, and he can be my best friend. Hope, we've talked about it already. A dog is a huge responsibility, and with me and Mom working, we wouldn't be able to take care of it properly. I could take care of it myself. Maybe this way Mom could come on a trip with us. She wouldn't be so scared of the forest if there was a big dog next to her, right? We'll talk about it when I get back. But Dad... Anyway, I heard you'll be staying alone tonight. No scary movies, okay? Okay, nothing scary, I promise. Don't tell Mom, but I'll be watching Princess Dragon. Princess Dragon, aren't you a little too old for a fairy tale? It's my favorite movie. How do you know it's a fairy tale if you've never seen it? Well, I asked you to watch it with me once, remember? You never did. You only do things you want to do. I'm sorry, I've been busy, okay? Yeah, because you're always sitting in your shed with your monster car, or you're out somewhere far without me. Have fun by yourself, Dad. Ooh, she hung up on me. That was a first. It wasn't a proper way to act for a child. I realized that I never noticed how quickly she became like her mother. She was all Natalie, all right. For a moment, I sat there, staring blankly at the phone of my screen. soon as I had nothing really to focus on, all the thoughts I had been trying to suppress throughout the day started to come up. Thoughts about Natalie, thoughts about Hope, too scared to tell me that she didn't want to spend time with me the way that I thought she wanted. Tears in her eyes when I asked if I would rather have a son, and the discussion we just had. I knew I would need to face these things eventually, but not at the moment. Back then, I just wanted to rest. Was that too much to ask for? With a heavy heart, I got up and started searching for my loyal companion. I found her lying behind the bed, waiting for me. My beloved golden blended whiskey in a bottle. If I had known that so many thoughts would catch up with me, I would have brought an extra one when Bob had suggested so. The bottle felt heavy in my hand, full of golden liquid. I looked down on the label only to notice something unexpected. Hey, look, old man. Isn't it your favorite brand? These days, thoughts about my father really crossed my mind. So when I saw the label, I couldn't help but smile. How many times have we drunk it together? Twice? Once for my 21st birthday, and once again when I came back to take care of you. You promised to drink with me again when my first child was born. You ran out of time, old man. I knew that if I took a sip, this conversation would go south. That's why I decided to go to sleep instead. That was too much excitement for one day. I didn't feel like indulging myself in a drunken trip down memory lane any longer. Besides, I was looking forward to some quiet time next day. I put the bottle away and dozed off. Somewhere else. Uh-oh. Reporting in. What's the status? She is on the move again. I found her tracking device. It looks like she ripped it away with her own teeth. I've spoken with the guy you saw her at a local gas station. It seems she got tangled up with one of the local authorities. Nothing I can't handle. This better not influence your schedule. It won't, sir. Good. You have 24 hours to contain the situation. Keep a low profile. Yes, sir. The additional asset has been involved. By the way, once the target is contained, we will have another task for you. Understood. Uh-oh. That night, I slept like a baby. To my own surprise, I woke up fresh and energetic, which is rarely the case. It didn't take me long to realize why. When I looked out the window, I noticed that the sun was already high. It must have been out for at least 10 hours, which meant I had wasted my first day. No animal I was interested in would be active in the middle of the day. I opened the window to let in some fresh air. A cool breeze carried the smell of pine cones and wet moss. It stirred a feeling of nostalgia. However, I couldn't dwell on it for long. I heard the barking again. The dog had to still be out there somewhere. What's wrong with this damn mutt? I closed the window, but it got me thinking. Why would this dog still be out there? I decided to check it out. Leaving it like that could be dangerous, especially if the dog was aggressive. Stumbling upon it during a hunt could end badly. I grabbed a pocket knife from the shelf and my bag with Natalie's sandwiches. The stuff I had bought at the gas station was still inside. I took my rifle too. If the dog had rabies or some other disease, it would fall on me to do something about it. Armed, I left the cabin. Good, so at least if we run into anything, we're not going to have any problems. Regardless if it's a dog or that woman. I honestly think that she's coming after us, too. I think that's where it says, like, the secondary target is on their radar, too, or whatever the hell it was. Saturday, 1314, forest. Following the barking was difficult. I couldn't use any of my usual tracks, so I walked into the forest blindly. Whenever the dog went silent, I was left without any clues where to go. So I just waited patiently for it to start making noise again. Can't say I really minded. In the end, the chance to spend time surrounded by nature was a reason why I'd come here in the first place. Fortunately, but oddly at the same time, it seemed that the dog wasn't moving at all. Like it was just sitting there, barking the whole day. Wandering through the forest took me almost 2 hours. It must have been long past noon when I finally found it. Oh my god. I had expected many things, but not what I saw. Instead of a stray mutt roaming around, it was a dangerously looking hound tied to a tree. He was a magnificent beast, big and sturdy. I didn't know much about dogs, but even I could recognize a purebred when I saw one. It looked like he had spent at least a couple days in the forest. He is a bit dirty, but still healthy and strong. There was a bloody wound on his neck. The collar must have cut his skin when he struggled to set himself free. Some bastard must have left him here to die. If I laid my hands on the guy who did this, even just thinking about it made me furious. Someone decided to leave an animal to starve to death, like you couldn't leave it at a shelter. And why? Out of shame? Because it was a long drive? These were all trivial. Yet we both there we both were. Hey there, buddy. Grrr. Oh, okay, easy now, easy. I tried to approach the dog, but it turned out more difficult than I expected. I had to focus on keeping all my fingers intact. First of all, I had to free him somehow. Touching the collar was out of the question. Tinkering with it at this point would cause him too much pain. Cutting the rope seemed to be a better option, but I couldn't do it without getting closer to the dog. I needed to somehow gain his trust. Oh man, I'm trying to think back to my training. With the rope tied to his neck, I could more or less predict how far the dog could reach. That's why I decided to approach him head on. In the worst case scenario, I would just get out of his range. Grrr. It was a poor choice. He didn't attack me, but he definitely felt threatened, for he took a step back and bared his teeth, wrinkling his nose. I could see it in his eyes that he didn't want to fight me, but knew that he cannot run away. If I got any closer, he would snap. Avert my gaze. I didn't want him to feel challenged, so I gave him space by averting my gaze. I was still a little worried how he would react, so I watched him from the corner of my eye, ready to back off if needed. But it seemed that the dog finally gained some confidence. He started to wag his tail timidly. Alongside the fear, I caught a glimpse of curiosity. The fangs were still there, but more as a reminder than a weapon ready to be used. He was waiting for my next move. I finally got my chance. We were still far from friendly turns, but that was about to change. I reached for my bag and opened it slowly. The lovely smell picked the dog's attention immediately. I had something no meat eater would be able to resist, especially not one that had spent a few days stranded in the forest. I fished into the bag and pulled out one of Natalie's sandwiches. I'm sorry, Nat. Pains me to do it, but it's a necessary sacrifice. I know you would understand if you were here. With a heavy heart, I grabbed one of the sandwiches Natalie made for me yesterday. It's probably not the healthiest food for an animal, but hey, he probably didn't care. Time for worrying about nutritional values would come later. I ripped the packaging apart and threw its content near the dog. It disappeared faster than I thought possible. The dog must have been here for days. Wow, you must have been really hungry, huh? Oof! Yay, he's happy. No worries, there's more of it. I unpacked 2 more sandwiches and tossed them to the dog. With his fangs out of my way, I finally had my chance to take care of the rope. It was a thick one with a polyester cover. I didn't know much about ropes, but if I had to guess, I would say it's probably used for climbing or sailing, somewhere where durability counts. The knot used to tie it around the tree wasn't trivial either. When the animal tugged in an attempt to free himself, it only grew tighter. At this point, there was no way to untie it, not with a pair of sharp teeth ready to bite my arm off. I needed to cut the rope somehow. The problem was that I wasn't sure if I was prepared. I quickly recalled all the things I had with me. I could use something in the next episode. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, I really hope you're enjoying this. I know this is sort of like story time with chills, but this is a visual novel in the horror thriller genre. So I really hope that you're enjoying it, and I hope you can put up with my beautiful voice in the meantime. And yeah, we're gonna continue playing. I'm actually gonna keep recording right now. We're at 25 minutes, so I figure that should be long enough right now, and we will continue this next time. Thank you so very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you then. Take care.